Hi and welcome back to the Ultimate Racing League. My name's Mark at Slowpoke Racing and welcome back to Italy to the Autodrome Lago Maggiore, if I've pronounced that right, or the racetrack by the lake, for race 2 of League 2 of our Sunday challenge in the GR3 cars. Race 1 we saw Wacky Racer take the win, followed by Aspect and Niggle. So let's just see how they get on in this one. We're going to go through the grid order again, starting at the back with the Big Mac, who had a very unfortunate race in race 1, and I'm sure he'll want to forget that one as quickly as possible. Hoppers is in 10th, Stealth is 9th, Robbie is 8th, Angry Man 7th, Hodgie is 6th, 5th is Viking, 4th is Declan, Niggle is 3rd, Aspect is 2nd, and pole position is the last race winner, Wacky Racer. So, excuse me, let's get this second race underway. So we'll look for the lights. So 5 lights, as soon as they go out we are away. Wacky and Aspect, as always, getting a good start. It looked like Viking Daddy got a fantastic start there to go through to 3rd. He's having a door-to-door session with Niggle. Niggle just manages to get that 3rd spot back. Everybody trying to get around without spinning. So Wacky Racer in the lead with Aspect and Niggle just behind. Viking in 4th. As I say, tremendous start for him. Oh, who's that? It's just gone wide. I think it was the Big Mac. As we follow Stealth round the right hander and then up the hill into the S's. Everybody going through. Hodgie just getting a wheel on the dirt, putting Robbie under some pressure. As they go down the fast straight down the hill towards this tight right hander. This is where it all kicked off in the first lap of the first race. So let's just see, as everybody got through. Oh, the Big Mac got himself on the dirt, but has kept it going. He has kept it going. So back up to the race leaders then, as Wacky's out in front. Aspect, Niggle, Viking, Declan. Let's go on board with Declan as we take turn 17 and head towards the start finish line to end lap 1. We've got Robbie and Hodgie behind, Viking just in front, as Robbie comes right up to the back of Declan. Now take it easy through this turn, very easy for the tail to kick out on that one. Same with this one, a bit of a camber on the road, so it's very easy to spin out. Declan doing a good job though. Down the hill into this sweeping right hander. Try and get on the apex, back on the power, up the hill into the S's. As I said in race 1, if you can get this first corner right, you can pretty much do these in full throttle, but you've got to get that first turn spot on. So that's Declan trying to chase Viking Daddy down to take that 4th position away from him. To Wacky Racer having a bit more of a comfortable race this second race. He's gone with the soft tyres again, so he's obviously going for 2 wins out of 2. Aspect not quite as close this time round, although Niggle is a lot closer to Aspect than he was in the last race, so Niggle may be looking to make a move on Aspect very soon, although that Mercedes is very, very quick in a straight line. So Viking leading a pack of 3 or 4 cars now into turn 1, being very cautious on the accelerator, especially around turn 2. As we see, it looked like Hodgie was making a move on Declan. Hodgie very close to Declan now. He's definitely in the slipstream. I wish the cameraman had keep up. As Hodgie has a bit of a cheeky look up the inside, couldn't quite get anything done there, so he's going to have to settle in behind Declan again. Just approaching the 5-minute mark in this second race. Oh, that looked like Viking kicking up a bit of dirt. I think it was. Let's just go back and see what happened to Viking. It was through the S's, yeah, he just got his rear wheel on the grass, that spun him over to the other side, and that has slowed him right down. That's allowed Declan and Hodgie through. Robbie looks like he's going to take a spot as well from him, so Viking drops down to 7th. I'm sure there's a few choice words coming out from underneath that visor. So Declan now up into 4th, Hodgie 5th, Robbie 6th. That's a great shot. Looking back at that right hander there, you can see how difficult it is when you look at that shot. Just go down the order. Stealth in 8th, Angry Man 9th, Hopper's 10th, and the Big Mac. Oh, he really is not enjoying this track at all. That was a big spin from the Big Mac. He just got that corner completely wrong. I'm sure he's about ready to just abandon that car, get out and walk back to the pits. And now he's stuck, going nowhere. I had exactly the same trouble myself, to be honest, last night. Got stuck on a barrier, and didn't matter what gear you selected, you wasn't going anywhere. Somebody who's not having any such problems is Wacky Racer out in front. A very comfortable gap now between himself and Aspect. Aspect, however, has got Niggle all over him. Let's go on board with Niggle as he looks to make a move. He's going up. Well, he's going to have to go around the outside now as we enter the S's. So Aspect on the inside, these two keeping it clean. I think Aspect may have backed off there, but a fantastic move from Niggle. Let's just go back and have a look at that again. Side by side through the S's, and Niggle just gets his nose in front to take that second spot away from Aspect, who is not going to take that laying down, I'm sure. Oh, as Aspect gets himself on the sand, keeps it going forwards though. So well done to him, that's cost him a few tenths though. And I think he's definitely going to have some sand on those tyres, so he needs to get them cleaned off before you start pushing, but I'm sure it won't be long before Aspect is back on the bumper of Niggle. Now Hodgie has got by Declan to take up 4th position. Declan in 5th and coming under pressure from Robbie. Side by side now, up the hill. Across the start finish line into turn one, still side by side these two. Declan just gets his nose in front into turn two, and we've had something happen in front. Now, was it Hodgie? He's not coming under any pressure. So was it Hodgie? No, it was ahead of him. Well, I don't know who it was then. But there was definitely a yellow flag. Aspect and Niggle, no, they're okay. Well, I don't know what that was all about then. So Hodgie in fourth, Declan fifth, Robbie sixth. Viking has now joined onto the back of this little group of three. So Viking looks like he could be challenging Robbie. As the two Mercs chasing each other down the hill, Viking pulls to the inside. That's a great move from Viking. Gets himself into that sixth position, although Robbie's come back at him. Viking still has the inside line. Ooh, a bit of a bump there. The Viking stays in sixth. Robbie fighting back. He's going to keep the pressure on. We have had just over 9 minutes of this second 15-minute race. I'm just looking at the tyres. Viking is on the medium tyres, so is Robbie, and so is Declan. So it is the battle of the medium tyres then. Declan out in fifth, and he's watching this fight between these two take place in his rearview mirror, which is all good for Declan because it will give him a chance to pull away. Let's just drop down the order, have a look at Stealth in 8th, he's on his own. Angry Man likewise on his own in 9th. Then you've got Hoppers and the Big Mac. Wacky, another one out on his own, but up front, which is where you want to be. Niggle now starting to pull away from Aspect. Hodgie in 4th, looking comfortable, so this is where the fight is taking place. Is Viking and Robbie battling it out for 6th, with Declan just ahead of them. Let's go on board with Viking as we go down the hill. He's got Robbie all over him. Now has Robbie gone to the left? Yes, he has. We just see the front end of Robbie's car as he gets himself on the inside. Nothing Viking could do about that. He just has to slot in behind Robbie as them two swap positions. This is great racing from these guys though. So Robbie now in 6th, chasing Declan. Viking Daddy bearing down on him. Oh, it looks like Viking Daddy's gone to the inside, and he has another fantastic move. Let's go back and have a look at that. So Robbie in 6th, left the door open for Viking Daddy, who took that inside line and went through to regain that 6th position. So these two are really having a proper fight. We have had 11.5 minutes of this 15-minute race. Oh, Robbie just getting a little bit out of sorts there, but staying in touch. Although he's just dropped off a little bit, has Robbie, so Viking can now concentrate on trying to take that 5th position away from Declan. through turn 1 into 2. Careful not to get on the power too early. Declan doing a great defending job at the minute. Now down the hill, this is where the Mercedes power could kick in. Viking definitely in the slipstream, but is he going to run out of tarmac? He is. Couldn't get close enough to get the move done on Declan, although Declan did go quite wide there. He still managed to keep himself in 5th position. Robbie now has caught back up to the back of Viking. Need a good run through these S's. Try and get away from Viking, does Declan, but he's not managed it. Viking is sticking right onto the bumper of Declan. Declan defends the line, goes to the inside. Yeah, great racing from Declan there, giving Viking nothing to go at. Viking virtually pushing Declan along. He's up the smelly end properly and trying to force an error out of Declan. Robbie's still there. He's watching them two fight, hoping that they'll have a bit of a coming together, I'm sure. As we go across the start finish line to start lap 8, we have a minute left as Viking has a look at the inside. No. That Mercedes, the back end of the Mercedes, complaining as he goes, oh no, and that's Declan. What's happened to Declan? I think the pressure just got to him. Let's have a look. I've gone too far now, haven't I? Never mind, we'll stick with it. As we go across the start finish line, I think the pressure got too much for Declan. He's been doing a fantastic job of defending so far. The hazards are going for some reason. Oh, he just goes too wide, gets the tyres on the grass and then a slam into the barrier. Oh, that was so unlucky for Declan. The pressure just got too much, I think, and Viking goes through to take 5th. Robbie steals 6th, and Declan drops to 7. He has got to get some damage repaired, as Stealth is chasing him down as well now. So if he's not careful, Stealth could take that spot away from him. Now let me just go. We've got to go back up to our race leader. Wacky out all on his own. This is going to be the final lap. I'm just having a look just to see if anybody is actually finishing. They're not. So this will be the final lap for Wacky Racer. Another masterclass from him to take the win, and a very comfortable win at that. In race 2, the only downside to it is it will put him at the back of the grid for race 3 because it is a reverse grid. But well done to Wacky Racer, 2 out of 2 so far. Fantastic race from Nigel. I'm really pleased for him. He's going to take 2nd. Aspect is going to come in 3rd. It's still very respectable for Aspect. Hodgie comes in 4th, and then the race is on for 5th and 6th, which is Viking and Robbie. Declan, very unlucky for Declan, 7th. Stealth in 8th. Angry Man is going to get across the line in 9th, with Hoppers coming home in 10th, and the Big Mac has already finished in 11th. So that was race 2 from Italy. We'll bring you race 3 very shortly. It's going to be a twilight race and reverse grid, so all sorts of shenanigans there, I'm sure. So can't wait for that one. As we follow Hoppers around turn 17, and across the line to finish this race. I hope you've enjoyed the racing. If you did, remember to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, if you could subscribe, that would be very much appreciated. I shall catch you all for race 3.